Welcome back to Community Conversations. It is springtime here in Concord, and that can mean only one thing, that the Market Days Festival is right around the corner. And to tell us more about this year's Market Days, we have Haylie Stoddard. She's the events coordinator at Intown Concord. And she's been a good friend of the show. Welcome back, Haylie. We didn't scare you away the last time that you were here in the Concord TV studio.
No, you're not very scary, Josh.
I've been told that before, which is good for a host. I don't want to be intimidating. We want to welcome you guys and talk more about Market Days. Which, is it the 47th or 40? What
It
year?
is the 48th
48th annual Market Days Festival. So first off, just let us know what weekend in June is that happening?
It is June 23rd through the 25th. So Thursday, June 23rd through Saturday, June 25th.
So I'm not intimidating, but I am going to quiz you about specific details, things like that.
Go for it, I'm ready.
So folks at home should be making sure that they mark off on their calendar the Market Days Festival, and that is a Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Correct,
right?
Yep. 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Now, one of the first things we should mention is there's a whole bunch of sponsors, and I know you're at a point where maybe more sponsors come in, but if you had just a moment just to recognize some of the businesses that are supporting this year's Market Days.
Sure. Yeah, so this year we're super excited to announce our presenting sponsor, Xfinity. So they'll be there, and this year with a twist, we'll be providing Wi-Fi hotspots throughout Main Street, which we've never done before, so that's exciting news. And we have, going down the line, we have our media presenting sponsors is Benny Media's channels.
Okay, good. Yeah.
105.5 JYY, The
course.
Wolf, Frank FM, and WTPL.
Yeah, and they've got their radio station headquarters right here in Concord
Correct.
as well.
Yep. And then we also have our gold sponsors. Of course, the City of Concord is a huge supporter of ours. We have Hannaford Supermarkets, Lincoln Financial Group, Shaheen and Gordon, the Concord Monitor, the River Radio Network, the Walker Lecture Series. They are huge supporters of ours. Wyman's of Maine, they are a new supporter, gold sponsor of ours this year. So they'll be, they do frozen cups, fruit cups, things like that. They'll be there providing free frozen cups of fruit there.
Nice.
Yes. Silver sponsors, we have Casella Waste System. They are providing a huge resource to us this year. So a lot of our volunteers, have to lug those trash bags back and forth.
The trash cans that are lined up all down Main Street, they have to go around.
So they have to pick it up off the barrels and wheel them over to our dumpster that Casella provides for us. But this year, they came up with this awesome thing. So pretty much trash barrels on wheels. So you can...
It's going to make it so much easier
for
people.
Yeah. So much easier. And we're super
more efficient
thankful.
And quicker.
Yeah. Definitely, so we're thankful for them. Grapponi Automotive Group is coming back. The Hippo Press, New Hampshire Union Leader. And then we have a ton of bronze supported sponsors as well.
Which I'm sure that information is on the website too for people to check out. And the reason I bring up the sponsors this early on is just because it takes a lot of organizations to help put this together and make it possible.
Absolutely.
And of course, you guys, not to sell yourself short, Intown Concord, which you guys are a small but mighty team that puts this whole event together, that organizes it. Tell me a little bit just about how that's been going so far and about the work just that goes into preparing for such a large event like this.
Well, because we are a team of two, and one of our team members is currently expecting, so we're at we're at 2.5 right now.
Right, yeah.
We did, we're hired a summer intern to help us, which she's been huge. Her name is Kara. So if you see her, be sure to say hi to her. She's been tremendous in helping us transition for this huge festival. But we also start planning this festival in January for a summer event. So and when people, it's funny, we were walking down the street starting to do some of the measurements that we do each year, just to make sure, all of our vendors get the correct booth space.
Yep.
So we were out on the streets measuring out, and one of the downtown merchants was like, "No, that's too early. It's too early to be doing that." And we're like, "Not in event planning world, But in event planning world, market days is like tomorrow."
So do you literally go out with like a yardstick or like measuring tape, and you're out there like measuring spots?
Yeah. So we have this really cool tool that it's like it rolls with you and it measures for you, so you don't have to like do any extraneous bending or anything like that. But
You still have to go around and
yes, but we have to pre-mark out each vendor space from the Concord Food Co-op all the way down to Center Street, Loudon Road.
Yep.
So each vendor spot has its own pre-marked with masking tape and markers and everything. It takes a village.
It does. And you guys, as you put together a really good annual meeting as well over at the Bank of New Hampshire State.
you.
So you guys have had events happening between now and then anyway. So it's
Yes.
not like you can focus. And I think there's a misconception. People think that Intown Concord, oh, that's the Market Days organization. But you guys do so much else the rest of the year that you're balancing between long-term planning for Market Days, but then also
That's
like
right.
the events happening between now and then.
Yes, thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, it's funny too because we had our annual celebration on a Thursday night, and then 2 days later on a Saturday we had a spring event too. So, we were scheduling events back to back, literally back to back. So we were planning 2 events at the same time plus market days. So yeah, it does take a lot.
Yeah.
But
A lot
it's
of
fun.
long-term and short-term, so I think that's just impressive. Now, a lot of folks who are watching are probably familiar with Market Days and the concept. It's people, there are vendors that line up and down Main Street, and it's a free event that you can just walk around downtown and check out what's happening. And there's something new that's coming, so it's something we can announce to people that they may not be aware of,
Yeah.
that there is a headlining concert that is a free concert, which is a national touring
That's
musician.
right, yes. So our friends at Capital Center for the Arts and the Bank of New Hampshire stage
Yeah.
really hooked us up this year. They are sponsoring a nationally known band, Vertical Horizon.
Yeah.
So some of you maybe be like, "Oh, sounds vaguely
If you're
familiar."
a Gen Xer, you will know who Vertical Horizon is.
Yes.
They had the big song "Everything You Want."
Yeah.
They were very big in like the late 90s,
90s,
early 2000s.
2000s. Yep.
Yeah. And they're a national act that normally you would have to see at the Capitol Center or the Bank of New Hampshire stage.
Paid.
Paid.
You got to pay tickets for it. But at Market Days, you can see it for free outside on Main Street.
And it's right there. You're just hanging out downtown.
Yeah.
You can go to the beer tent. You can hang out. You can shop with some of the local merchants. And then you've got that Vertical Horizon performance, which
Yes.
when during the weekend is that happening?
Yes, so that they are closing out the festival for us. We have Mallory Weiss going on opening for them,
Nice.
and then so about 6:30 to 6:30 to 9, they'll be on Saturday.
Good, awesome. So people have that to look forward to. It's nice to have something new to announce because the event is it's sort of like if the wheel isn't, or if it ain't broke, don't fix it, sort of.
Right.
So a lot of Market Days has been very much sort of the staple. But when you guys can
Right.
add these new features and add these new
Yeah,
things,
freshens
it
it up.
freshens it up, changes it up.
Yeah.
So that has to be an interesting mix just in general about what to keep the same and what to change.
Yeah.
Do you guys do like surveys? Do you get feedback from the vendors and from
Oh, yeah,
participants every
of
year?
course.
Does that impact the decisions you
A-
make?
And it's funny too. So we like to say it's an Intown Concord event, right? But really, it's a community event.
Right.
The community, the merchants, they all have bits and pieces that they expect from us. That we need to keep up our tradition, and it does kind of make it easier to plan because we know what to expect. They know what to expect from us, but we definitely,
Yeah.
want to make sure that there are fresh new elements, so it's not just the same old
Right.
every time.
Yep.
A couple of things too that we have new is um, typically we have the kid zone, caged in,
Yep.
but it'll be back on the State House lawn
Okay.
again
good.
this year, which it was last year, and we'll be having 2 bounce houses this year.
Oh, 2. Because there was enough demand for one that you figured have 2, so
Yeah.
more people,
Yeah,
more
so
kids
we'll
can
have
do it.
an open obstacle course type bounce house, and
Yep.
then a closed. The closed bounce house might be a little bit more for littler kiddos.
For the younger age group. Yeah.
Yes, but we also will have. So we have a vertical theme this year. We have vertical entertainment is coming on as a vendor,
Yeah.
and will be bringing in their bungee / rock climbing wall combo unit. So that's going to be really fun for people to enjoy.
Yeah,
That'll be right
nice.
on something to draw people down to the North Main side.
So it's kind of right on the corner of the State House, kind of across the street from like Barley House, kind of? Is that where?
It'll be so. If you're familiar with market days, you'll know that the North Main is usually where the Touch a Truck is.
Right.
So we're not doing Touch a Truck this year.
Yep.
We just decided it takes a lot of coordination and
Yeah, and there's other opportunities for Touch a Truck at some other free events that happen at other points,
Right.
other times.
and
yeah.
other organizations in Concord do Touch a Truck. So
Right.
we just decided to take a beat from it this year and
Yeah.
bring in something new. So
There we go.
It was a perfect opportunity to bring in that rock
Yeah.
wall.
That's exciting. Yeah, the climbing wall. I'm not good with heights, but I'm sure maybe
I'm
Matt,
not-
maybe
I'm
Matt
not
will
either.
help me. We'll make Matt climb it.
Yeah, I won't be doing that either.
Yeah. I don't know if Matt's afraid of heights. He can't respond. He's directing back there. But I think one year we actually, because there was a rock wall one year.
Yeah.
It's not been a every year thing, but there was one year. It might have been 2017 or something. And we have footage. I don't think I'll be able to put it in. Maybe I'll edit it in where Emmett, who is a part-time staffer of ours, is climbing the rock wall because he's fearless. He's just
That's
like, I'll go
fun.
up. I don't know if he had a GoPro on, but there's footage, I think, of him climbing that rock wall. And it's fun because you can climb
Yeah.
it and you've got the State House right there behind you. You get this really cool view that you wouldn't normally get from downtown.
Yeah.
So,
And my predecessor, event coordinator,
Yep.
She had some crazy ideas of bringing, slack lining and hot air balloons and,
I know, it was like becoming the X Games, yeah.
it's something that, I think because both Jess and I are still pretty new to Intown Concord, I think that maybe it's something we can work up towards.
I think you guys have found the mix of adding new things but keeping the staple events
Yeah.
and still making it like the go-to event
Yeah.
for downtown Concord. So again, it's happening June 23rd through 25th, the Market Days Festival hosted by Intown Concord.
Yes.
And so volunteers is something that we also wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And like any event, it's very volunteer driven, board of directors
Absolutely, yeah.
driven. First off, tell us, what are some of the volunteer opportunities? What are some examples of things that people could help with during that weekend?
So we have pretty much endless opportunities for volunteerism between it could be, it doesn't have to be right at market days. We have opportunities before the event, whether it's distributing posters or loading up our U-Haul, things like that. And but we also have really fun things going on during the festival that it takes a village, and anything anybody can do can help. To volunteer would be great, and we don't expect our volunteers to be there from sun up to sundown, starting Thursday at 4 a.m. to
Right,
to
there's shifts.
1
there's
a.m. on
reasonable-
Sunday,
yeah,
right? So
yeah.
the most common volunteer shift is about 3 hours,
Yep.
but they do vary, and
Okay.
and they are all over the festival, and we just want to make sure that when you're signing up, it's something that you enjoy, something that matches your skill set.
Yep.
But regardless, no matter what you're doing, whether it's trash or working in the beer tent, you're going to have a great time no matter what.
Because you'll see people you know. If you're
Yeah.
part of the community, you're just sort of there immersed in
Exactly.
the whole
It is.
festival.
It's such a lively festival, and we're pretty fun to hang out with, I might add. um, it's just.
I agree, by the way.
I know, that was
a long pause.
That was a long
I didn't think I
pause.
needed to say it, but now I'm going to say it. It's a very fun team. But it's not like they like necessarily are going to be like hanging out with you and Jess the whole time.
Right.
It's like very much like on the go, on your feet. But like again, I can, from when we've recorded downtown, it's like you see people you know, everywhere you go, you're having fun. You see friends and family, and you're helping out, whether it's with picking up trash, which helps make the event go smoother, that it helps keep things moving. The beer tent seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's one of the
a lot of responsibility
most popular volunteer positions is definitely the beer tent. But like I said, come for 3 hours. Maybe you want to be in the kids zone, help manage the bounce houses or ticket sales, anything like that. Maybe you
Do you need people at the like the info booth, the info tent?
So we're not doing an info tent this year.
Oh, okay.
It'll be kind of the beer tent's kind of like the info tent.
That's all the information people need. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Go to the beer. Find beer for info.
Which speaking of that, is that still sponsored? Did I see correctly? New Hampshire Distributors.
Yes.
Or maybe you already mentioned that, but
I did not.
That's sponsored by New Hampshire Distributors.
Yes, it is. Yep. They really help us out and provide a lot of the materials.
Yes, the supply and a lot of I assume it's a lot of local offerings too.
Yes, right. we don't have our beer list just yet.
That's okay, no pressure. The one thing I stumped you on, we haven't even talked about stage dimensions yet. So, yeah.
But you can, if you're a Bud Light drinker, you can expect to see Bud Light there. That's a huge seller.
Okay.
Usually Concord Craft, something of Concord Craft.
Yep.
I know a lot of people like Safe Space, so.
That's a popular one, but we don't do commercials on here, so no commercials, no free commercials. Any of the ones that are out there available, I think the best part is what I've seen is it's a diverse, it's like all the different types. It's a variety of different beer offerings that people can try. And the best part is, again, you're downtown, you get to kind of just take in the atmosphere of where you're at, and the kids can check out some of the free activities. Is that a thing?
There's food.
There's food, so much good local food, the vendors, the restaurants. Now, something I did want to ask, though, is do each of the vendor booths have to have an activity, or is that a thing? Like, if you have a vendor booth, like I know a lot of them have like a wheel that you can spin to win a free prize, or do they have to, or is that sort of an optional, like some choose to just for like?
I think like a lot of the nonprofits that attend to be a vendor, they want something that's eye-catching and
Bring people
enticing.
in. Yeah.
So they do provide something like that, a game or a free giveaway, a tchotchke item, things like that. But no, it's not required.
Yeah. What are some of the, can you think of some of the more unique ones you've seen, like from last year? I know there are definitely wheels. There's wheels where you can get a free prize. There's a lot of those. There's something with like ducks in little ponds, or in a little pond, like rubber ducks or something.
I don't know about that one.
Great, we're gonna have to cut this from the episode.
I don't know.
But that's the fun about going around, is there's all these different kind of little activities for little free giveaways, or it's something for the kids to do while you're shopping.
Yes.
So,
yeah. Well, and then there's a kid zone.
And a kid zone.
But we don't want to advertise, drop your kids off and have our volunteers baby.
Parents should be hanging out at the kid zone, watching their kids.
Right. That's partly why it's not fenced in this year. So so parents aren't enticed to drop their kids off
and just leave.
Take off. Yeah.
Parents, stay with your kids. Stay with your kids, everyone.
This is a public service announcement. Please stay with your kids.
Yeah, exactly. So, the other thing, is there an outdoor movie this year? That was the other.
Oh, that's a good question. Yes, there will be, but we don't know what.
Not sure what the movie is yet, and that's usually Red River Theaters who helps put that together,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So
Red River.
that would be exciting.
We're also not sure how that's going to work with our stage.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Maybe they could pick, if the theme is vertical, you kind of jokingly were saying the theme was vertical, maybe they pick a movie about rock climbing. Maybe that could be like a vertical theme, you know? What do you think?
That sounds boring.
No, I'll pitch that to Jess. She'll love it. I'll pitch it to Jess. She'll like the idea. But yeah, you're right, because the main stage is where the movie usually gets set up, right? Like the movie screen goes up basically right in front of the main stage, I think, or something like that.
I think
Yeah.
on the stage. I
Yeah,
think
so-
it's on the stage.
So logistics,
physically.
we
But-
still have some time to figure that out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah,
But the
yeah,
outdoor
we
movie,
should
if
get on that.
yeah, that's what I'm here for. I'm
Yeah.
here for all the reminders. And again, if people want to find more information, how can they learn more? Because a lot of this information evolves as we get closer to the event. Where's the best place people can keep track of things as they develop?
MarketDaysFestival.com.
Okay, great.
Yep.
MarketDaysFestival.com.
Yep.
Social media also, Facebook, that
yes.
sort of
Yep.
stuff, Instagram,
Yep.
always a good place to check.
Yeah, we have a special event page for Market Days on Facebook.
Yep.
We try to post as much as we can there, but usually just the Intown Concord Facebook page is a great place to check just regularly. And not just for Market Days, but for anything that's going on in the community.
Yep.
We try to.
Yeah, you guys are really on top of just everything that's happening downtown and sharing information
try
about what's
to,
happening.
yeah.
And that's a big part of the Intown Concord mission.
Right.
It's not just events, but it's also supporting what's happening downtown.
We gotta support our people.
Exactly. And we love our downtown Concord.
Yeah,
Well,
we do.
Haylie, I think our time's just about up. I only threw a couple curveballs at you this time, so but I appreciate you coming back into the studio,
Yeah, definitely.
and we're looking forward to Market Days.
Thank you for having me, and we're looking forward to it too.
It's going to be great. So again, thank you to Haylie Stoddard, who's the events coordinator at Intown Concord. This has been Community Conversations. We'll see you next time. Thanks.